it's Phoebe Garnsworthy here. I'm a spiritual author, meditation teacher, and today I am going to share with you my own personal story about why I choose to be plant-based. Now, I have been plant-based for, as of today, over 15 years, and my initial change into a plant-based lifestyle had nothing to do with the animals. It was actually selfish reasons. I personally was having a lot of difficulty with my own body, my own digestion, and I was unable to really live a normal life. Everything that I ate irritated me. I felt like I was allergic to everything. I was very upset with every single food. I didn't even know how it was going to affect me. I had problems digesting food. I had problems being able to actually eat it. I felt sick straight away afterwards, to the point that my tummy would be in knots. I'd have to lie down for about an hour, and I saw every doctor possible. I saw conventional doctors, I saw acupuncturists, I saw naturopaths, I saw nutritionists, I saw every doctor possible, and no one knew what was wrong with me. At the time, it was originally thought that I had gluten intolerance, but back then there wasn't anything such as gluten-free. So even trying to go on a gluten-free diet was almost impossible because it didn't really exist. I had to cut out and do my own elimination and try and figure out what was going on with my body. Now, by this stage, before I went into the vegan lifestyle, I had probably spent 3 or 4 years in agony, to the point that I did not understand my body. It did not agree with me. Nothing that I ate, put into it, was loving, and I almost had a very hateful relationship with it because I didn't understand how it could go along with me. I had come across the vegan lifestyle and had learned, just dabbled in a few things, trying to understand why it's better for you. And I had read a book and I thought, look, why don't I just try it for 1 month and I'll see how it goes. At this stage, I was eating everything. So the idea of doing this felt very, very foreign to me. I didn't even know if I could do it. I didn't know if I had that discipline to do it. But when I decided to do it, I said, I'm going to try everything and I'm going to make sure that I stick to it. Now, the first week was very hard. It was a lot more eating at home than eating out at restaurants, and that was probably the most difficult thing, was actually trying to still be social while having this diet, because none of my friends were doing it. It was also very difficult. At the time, I was living in Australia and it wasn't even recognized anywhere as having what a vegan meal would be. So the first week was super difficult. Second week was even harder. By the third week, I felt like everything in my life aligned. I had never felt more energized, never felt better in my whole body. It was like something clicked and I finally understood what it was that my body was trying to tell me this whole time. And from that point, I never had problems again. I have never ever looked back. So that's been over 15 years. I have never been tempted to even go into eating meat because I finally understand what it is that my body needs and how it works. Now, another point of this that I thought is really interesting, when I was eating meat and I was seeing the doctors, I was also an anemiac, which means that I was not absorbing iron. I was super fatigued. I was exhausted. I'd probably have sleeps in the middle of the day. And I was unable to I didn't have enough iron intake into me. That's when I saw all the doctors. I saw naturopaths. I was on vitamins. I was taking supplements. Nothing was working and my body was actually rejecting the supplements. I decided to drop everything, and then when I went to the vegan lifestyle and then everything made sense, I got tested and I had no sign of anemia in me. I had no problem with iron. All of my levels were absolutely perfect. So it was even more of a surprise to me that everything was even more flowing because I had chosen to adapt this into my lifestyle. Now, that is the digestive areas. So I originally turned vegan, plant-based for digestive measures. From that, over a span of the 15 years, of course, you start to learn and you start to look at things completely differently. And I think on an energetic level, it 100% has made me look at the world differently. I feel more connected to all of the animals and all of the creatures. I cannot look at meat the same way. And it's so funny. There's this meme, and I'll try and do a little photo of it here. And it's about how meat eaters see vegans, and we're seen as these little hippies and, you know, free spirits and everything. And then it shows how vegans see meat eaters, and we see them as like carnivores of ripping blood and of destroying animals. And that's actually how we see it. When someone says, "Do you miss this?" and pointing to meat, I'm looking at a dead animal. Do I miss a dead animal? No, not at all. My body is graceful, and I want to only put good vibrations in it. I'm not creating a graveyard within my stomach. I only want beautiful vibrations. So that's another thing that you need to think about. When you're eating a dead animal, you're ingesting all of that negative energy. So when an animal, just before it is killed, it goes through fear, terror, horror, and that brings forth a different vibration. And that's what you're ingesting. You're ingesting that form of vibration into your body. And we're made of energy, so you're still absorbing all of these negative energies. Now, aside from that, so we've got the how wrong it is on an energetic level. Now we also look at the corporations and how misinformed we've been throughout our whole life. We've been educated to believe that we need to have meat to survive. We need meat to be able to live and thrive and to be able to get all of our nutrients. Well, I'll tell you something. All of these animals that we're meant to be eating, where do they get their nutrients from? They get them from the grass. They get them from herbs. They do not get them from eating other animals. And if you're thinking about this, we're building muscle, and you're building muscle that other animals have already built. So the way that you're taking that into your body, you're also absorbing any kind of cancers. You're absorbing their fat. You're absorbing anything else aside from the muscle into your own body. Now, your body isn't designed to be able to separate and to be able to get rid of all of these things. And this is why so many diseases are actually the result of a poor diet, such as a meat diet, such as a dairy diet. We are not designed to be eating this kind of food and to be drinking dairy products. It just doesn't work in our body. Now, you can look into the scientific facts for this as well. And remember, you're going to have to dig a little bit deep, because a lot of the information that explains this is censored by the corporations that pay the big money. So the corporations that afford to be able to have all of these cattle farming and are able to mass produce and make money off you, they're also controlling the media. They're controlling the way that they deliver this information to you. But now we're very lucky that in this time and age, we are looking at this on a much larger scale, and there's so many documentaries for you to go into so that you can educate yourself. There are so many really good documentaries. So if you're curious about it, I urge you to watch one. I'm going to link to some in the show notes below as well, because I think that it's really important for you to have a watch of them so you can gather understanding. So there's that element as well of why I am a plant-based lifestyle. From that, it's also really important to think about climate change and the way that we are protecting the world. We're wanting to create a better place for our children, for ourselves as well. And this is done by eating less meat, by eliminating meat as much as possible, because the mass production of animals and livestock is all contributing to the problems with our climate as it is. So we keep thinking, oh, we're going to recycle, we're doing this that's eco-friendly. These are all wonderful, but we're not addressing the source of the problem, which is eating too much meat. It's mass producing this cattle and livestock. And why are we even doing it when it is not nurturing and nourishing our bodies? We're told to do it. And so it's all about education. It's all about retraining our brain to understand what it is that we're feeding into ourselves. So that is the other reason that I wanted to get across. From this point of over the 15 years that I have been plant-based for, my journey has evolved a lot. And in the last 2 years, I've actually made the decision to not buy any animal products at all in terms of clothing, in terms of shoes. It's been a little bit tricky to find shoes that aren't leather, but I've really made sure that that's something that I've stuck to. Bags and shoes, which are the two common leather items that we don't even think about, but I've really made sure that these are not covered in leather. And I'm slowly going through all of my closet. I'm making a conscious effort to not buy any products that are harming animals. And this is how it has evolved for me. So everyone's journey is completely different. For you today, just take one step. And if that one step means cutting out meat for one day, then so be it. If you're able to do 2 days, if you're able to try it for a week and just see how your body feels. But remember that when you are switching to a plant-based diet, you need to make sure that you have a lot of variety. When I eat my plant-based meals, I have so much variety. And the reason is because I understand what I am eating. I am making sure that I'm covering all sorts of nutrients. I'm making sure that I am nourishing and nurturing my body. So it also comes down to that. You need to make sure that you know what it is that you're putting into your body. Every single item on your plate, you should know what the nutrients are. It doesn't have to be the percentage or what the exact numbers are and what every single thing, but know what its main source is. Know what proteins you're putting into your body. Know what iron, what carbohydrates, what vitamins are you actually getting, and make sure you have a very well balanced diet for it. So they are a few of my little tips, talks about why I turned vegan and why I am encouraging and inviting you just to try it out and to see how you feel. And if you have already switched to a plant-based diet, please let me know, leave a message, tell me how it's helped change your life, and let's encourage everyone else to do so. Okay, I hope you enjoyed that. Please hit subscribe and be notified when I have more videos. Bye.